The history of North State Together is really interesting. We're made up of 5 counties: Shasta, Trinity, Tehama, Siskiyou, and Modoc. And the work started out in Shasta County through public health. And so our public health department noticed that the mortality rates were among the worst in the state of California. And people were dying earlier in our area. And so what they discovered was something very highly correlated with early death was education. So public health and educators in the area got together and started having some meetings, and then it kind of grew from there into what we called Reach Higher Shasta. And so we put our heads together as this kind of new collective impact team, and we were looking for other areas that had successful county teams that had been put together, and Tehama already had one. They were called Expect More Tehama.
So historically, North State Together has focused on local solutions to local problems. We believe that if we put the resources in the hands of the community members, the leaders, the stakeholders that are closest to issues most affecting cradle-to-career outcomes in their own communities, we have the best chances to improving those outcomes.
So North State Together is a regional approach. We are a large region in Northern California, and in the past you'll find that things that happen in silos in each community. And for example, if I was in Shasta County, I might be doing terrific things that I could share with you, but we might not have the same voice as a region.
Right now we know that 1 in 6 North State residents are currently living in poverty. And so there's a combination of factors that truly underscores collective impact as a model, the need for collective impact as a model for our entire region. And that's where North State Together comes in, not only providing that unified approach toward improving educational outcomes in our North State region, but facilitating that ongoing communication, providing a foundation for collaboration, not only across sectors, but across communities to share best practices. And the makeup of our region is not that similar to the majority of California. The state of California as a whole is around 6% rural, whereas 100% of the counties that make up the North State are either fully rural or partially rural.
So those 5 counties started off with their collective impact teams, but what was missing was kind of a nucleus or a backbone team, and that's what North State Together is. So we serve as that nucleus where we provide the 5 counties with research and data support, and we also allow for professional development within the counties, cross-training.
I really enjoy working with North State Together. It's been quite the change from where I was at. In the administrative role for Shasta College, I was more of a boss, so to speak, and oversaw projects and things like that. But with North State Together, I get to work with our 5 county partners and K-12 and different areas of the community that I never got to work with before, and that's been really exciting, so I really enjoyed the work.
I just feel like there are so many ways students can reach higher education or jobs, and it's kind of different in rural Northern California than it would be in a really urban environment. So joining North State Together for me has been the most amazing thing, to join a team that's really focused on regional success for education and careers and that sort of thing.
Our primary vision with this grant is to improve the personal and economic lives of community members that live and work in the remote north. And we plan to do this by leveraging our cross-sector partnerships, not only in our original 5 counties, Shasta, Tehama, Trinity, Modoc, and Siskiyou, but in the additional 5 counties that we're adding to the North State Together service region in Butte, Glen, Lassen, Sierra, and Plumas. And so these cross-sector partnerships are made up of leaders and stakeholders across business, education, government, and nonprofits.
I've been so proud of the county teams. Each one of them have succeeded and really put up some big wins and accomplishments for what they've done. Modoc County, for instance, really wanted to plug in their students into the businesses in that area, but they were worried that they may not be able to connect with the local businesses like they wanted to. So what they did was they made a requirement to graduate at Modoc High School that they would have to do an internship at a local business. They were concerned they wouldn't get enough, but what ended up happening was almost every business in the area in Alturas volunteered to take a high school intern, and they had so many businesses that every single student in Modoc High School received an internship, gained workplace skills, and they had more businesses than students.
For North State Together, we are a data-driven organization, and when we first started, absolutely our county networks and educational partners were wanting the data that they needed, but they didn't always have it. And so we've built a culture of data-driven decision-making by providing them with the data they didn't have in the first place.
I'm extremely proud of the North State Together team that has put together a data dashboard, and so you can run real reports in real time. And so if anybody ever wanted to look up, success levels in an 8th grade high school in Modoc County and run a real-time report on that, they would be able to do so.
Benefits of using data is huge these days, and we have so much data at our fingertips now that we never had before, and to be able to provide that to folks is important, and especially in a way that they understand and that they can relate to. I think that we've been on this data discussion for a couple of decades now, but now that with the way technology is and the way that we can gather the data and the way that the state provides data and the federal government provides data, and it's everywhere.
Shasta County has done tremendous work under Judy Flores and some of the other leaders in Reach Higher Shasta. They were able to affect some policy levels and aid in getting a new law passed for our Native students. Our Native students were showing up in the data as having more absences than other students.
That led to conversations with the local tribes and listening sessions, and came of that an actual strong organization that has a seat at the Shasta County Office of Education table of tribal leaders and community members to feed into the education system and build that relationship.
What was happening was a lot of them were taking time off for Native American celebrations and holidays and religious observations, and so they were able to get a law passed that said that they would not be counted absent if they were attending one of those ceremonies or religious observations. So that was a great win for Shasta County. I'm really proud about the 5 counties and where they've come. To be perfectly honest, we weren't always looking at data and research to guide our decision making. Over the past, I would say maybe 10 years or so, the entire far Northern California region has really made a concerted effort to start looking at data, looking at the research to making informed decisions.
We've never had it before the way that we have it now, so it's really exciting to be able to grab those pieces, whether it's census data, State Department of Education data, local community college data, and even K-12 data, and really meld that together. It's been exciting, and I think that our partners in particular are really appreciative of what it is we can do to help them.
It helps pinpoint what is needed and gives them achievable goals after that. I mean, you can look at data, but how do we want to change the data for the positive? And so our counties are great now that we provide that data of saying, yes, I didn't recognize it, or now it's something I want to achieve, and see what the change is.
With this new role, I get to interact with people that are working with young children and starting out, the cradle to career idea. That's been the most exciting part, is working with those folks and producing things that they can use that help them make decisions and find out how their communities are doing, how their students are doing, and aggregating it all together in one spot for them.
We're progressing well, and we're looking forward to the future. And so, the McConnell Foundation, which funds North State Together primarily, took a big leap of faith in us, and we'll always be indebted to them. But things are working the way that they were designed to, and I'm proud of the county teams and the North State Together backbone team.
I just feel like there are so many ways students can reach higher education or jobs, and it's kind of different in rural Northern California than it would be in a really urban environment. So joining North State Together for me has been the most amazing thing, to join a team that's really focused on regional success for education and careers and that sort of thing.
But I think the most important is the foundation that's actually not written into that script, and that's trust and positive working relationships in our community. So without that, I don't think any of it can really work or take off, and we can't achieve success. And because we've focused on trust and building positive relationships within our communities since our inception at North State Together, that's why we are achieving success now and will continue to achieve success in the future, because we put that as the foundation to everything we do, is relationship.